Today we're going to do an account review for Fathands, whose peak power was over 300 million. And as you can see with his equipment, yeah, this account is pretty freaking stacked. So in this video, we're going to review the city themes, the equipment, the commanders. So kick back and get your popcorn. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and today's video is sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms, and we're going to be checking out Fathands, who has over 73 million dead troops. His peak power was 301 million, and yes, he has in fact recovered from being zeroed, although he's not yet back up to 300 million power. But in this video, we're going to show his speed ups, and he could gain a ton of power in the upcoming Zenith. By the way, if you like account reviews, definitely let me know down below in the comments, and we can do more of these. I just need you to say, yes, this is the kind of content I really want to see. So first, we'll get a look at these city themes. 15% cav attack is really solid. 15% infantry attack is also really great. I am dreading the possibility of their releasing health themes at 15%. Here's 10% infantry health, which is a great city theme. Atlantis is one that I really like. And also 5% skill damage. Really good open field city theme. You do lose some stats for the open field there. I think it was calves. And then 10% infantry defense. Good theme, but I think not as good as his other ones. And then 10% cav attack. Yeah, this theme is also, I think, dated now compared to his other ones. And also 10% infantry attack. Jeez, that's a lot of options for cavalry and infantry. So you can see this account is slanted toward those two troops, not toward archers. And this is going to be reflected in his equipment as well. First set here is crit, iconic cavalry with the KVK helmet crit. Really nice. Next set, crit, iconic infantry. Okay, and that is a vengeance and ring that are both crit. Then we have a few iconics, but entirely crit cavalry set. Also a greatest glory here, which is pretty legit. So that's 2 cav sets so far and an infantry set. Now we have yet another infantry set. This is almost entirely crit. I like that he's got a web. Horn is good. Then he's got his archer set, which is mostly crit, and he does still need a helmet. He should do the set helmet here because he should complete the 6-piece bonus. From here, we're looking at epic sets. This is an infantry set, which, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. You could consider some march speed, but I think what he has is great. That's for the accessories, by the way. Another cavalry set where he does have a helmet cooked up. That's legendary, but the rest is epic. And this Trajan gear is actually just leftovers. I mean, he could consider dismantling some of this stuff. I don't know that it's actually needed anymore. So in total, that was 3 cavalry sets, 3 infantry sets, and an archer set, and some leftovers that were on Trajan. And if we cruise through the commanders now, he's got a lot. In fact, 42 expertise legendaries, including Attila, Theodora, Ramses, Harold, CJ, Pakal, Honda, Bert, Freddy, Constantine, Khan. He's got Ragnar expertise because, you know, Vikings. It's a Vikings account, right? Mulan, Ethel, CC, Esong, Richard, Sundok, Minamoto, Alexander the Great, Oldies, Barca, and also Caesar. I wish they were more relevant than they are. And Martel and William, Ishida, Takeda, Mehmed, Joan, Leo, YSS, Flavius, frickin' Banana Helmet, El Cid. So this is a lot of commanders to work with, but you can see pretty quickly that this is a heavily skewed account towards having infantry, having cavalry, and he has an archer march, right? I mean, he's just going to run out his Boudica Esong, and I think that's pretty much a sealed deal. Good to go. And he's skipped a lot of those commanders, which we can get a look at here, and you'll see this in his roster. On expertise commanders, we've got Nebu, we've got Chandragupta, who, by the way, I'm now picking up in the daily special offer. I think he's pretty solid there. We got Cyrus, Tommy. A little bit of a bummer he doesn't have Tommy, but if you're running only 1 archer march, I think that's totally fine. And then there's the Gilgamesh. Lubu's in the roster, although obviously not expertise. And there's only 6 commanders he hasn't unlocked yet. The 2 new infantry. He's got Jad, Amanatori, Suleiman, and then Henry. Wow. From here, we can get another look at his materials and all of the equipment. And I think one thing that really stood out to me, and you'll see this when we review the equipment in its totality, is that he's actually focused his accessories for going for crits rather than making lots of Rings of Doom and lots of horns, which I think is a fine strategy considering that he wants to presumably be rallying and garrisoning with his cavalry. Maybe not garrisoning with his cavalry, but rallying with his cavalry, and then also garrisoning and rallying with his infantry. And so if we look again closely here, these are going to pull up on the screen in just a second. He's got 2 crit rings. One for calves, one for infantry. That's very good. He's got 1 crit horn. That's for cavalry. And I think legendary accessories would be the direction I would steer him for, filling out his open field marches. But obviously, he's still running 2 epic sets. So there's plenty of things that he can work on there. And I do think the accessories are probably the things that will give the most sort of bang for the buck, even though, man, it's a freaking ton of materials. So now we can get a look at his speed ups. And I think he could train for the Zenith if he wants to. So depending on what the city theme is, he's already got a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know what he would need. A 15% health theme? Sure. If he wants an archer theme, he could, but he doesn't really need it. So I think this account's in a really amazing spot. Obviously very enviable, but also a really, really pricey journey to get to this point. The last thing I really like to include in an account review is just the story of the account, the history, the journey. So this is what Fathands shared with me. He said his account was born in 1718. He was a very casual player at first, but he says a Korean alliance was trying to take over the kingdom. He woke up one day with his account zeroed. So he's actually been zeroed more than once. He was probably only 20 million power at that point. He was so pissed off that he whaled up to T5, they had a civil war, and then he migrated with other refugees to 1719, right before KVK Season 1 started, just so they would get geographically next to each other so that they could wage open war on them. Wow. When I ended up killing their king, it was one of my most proud moments in ROK. GG. After KVK won, most of the best inactive players on that continent all went to 1720. It was a great A-seed kingdom, and he was there for 4 to 5 KVKs and made a lot of really good friends. Unfortunately, that kingdom began to die off, and so he was interested in experiencing a big imperium. So a small group of us, Amy and others, migrated to 1412 to play with Samuk, AK-47. Baba was also there at the time, and it was a well-organized kingdom, and we won our KVK, but ultimately, being an English speaker in an American time zone proved to be too tough in a largely Arabic or Middle Eastern kingdom, and the language barrier was at times challenging. Learn My Gamertag was a friend of mine, and he introduced me to Ruz and Cortex. So Learn My Gamertag was with us in 1075. So I joined SW during the big 254 migration. It's been a ton of fun. I've been very happy here. As far as account goals, I've been working toward 10 billion kill points. He's currently over 9 billion and should hit that during this KVK, assuming we get the fights. And he's been saving up speed ups for Zenith, so he has been saving. If there's an interesting skin, I will probably boost back to the 250 million power range. Sheesh! From a gear perspective, I was exclusively focused on infantry and cavalry and never really fielded archers. When Boudica came, she was just too good, and I began building an archer set. So in the near term, I'm focused on finishing that, which, yes, archer set helmet is where you really want to be. Don't do the KVK helmet. You really want to have the set helmet, given what you've got. The alternative, if you wanted to crit the KVK weapon and crit the KVK helmet, that would be better. But you don't really want to go for that, I think. I think you just get the set helmet, you crit that when you get a chance, and boom. I mean, you're in a really amazing spot. Big shout out and thank you, by the way, to Fathands for sharing all of that about his account and the videos. And if you want to see more account reviews just like this, I really need you to throw a like on the video and let me know down below in the comments. I really do look to see, hey, is this what people really want to watch? And I look at your comments to figure that out. But one other thing I think you will want to watch is going to be the video where Fathands talks about his response to getting zeroed. Card for that will be in the end screen in just a second. Also, I've been making a series of videos recently about how to protect your account from being zeroed. Not that you shouldn't just use a peace shield, but if you find yourself in prison, There's some precautions that every player should take, and only 1/3 of people polled have actually done these things. So watch that card in the end screen as well. Keep your account safe, and I'll see y'all real soon.